Hey everybody, this is Dave from AskUncleDave.com. A couple of weeks back, I made a video about sideloading apps the easy way using iPwnstore for TVOS. So basically, what this service does is it allows you to get some apps when you're a member of iPwnstore, getting some apps co-signed. So basically, you click the sign and download, and it downloads these particular apps right to your downloads folder, and then you use a software like iPhonebox with your Apple TV connected to your computer via the USB-C to USB cable, and you pretty much use iPhonebox and you install those signed apps. You don't have to use Xcode or anything like that. Basically, you pay for the service. The service runs for $12.99, and you can set it up for your TVOS. What about iOS? I want to install a lot of great apps onto my iOS device. So what I have for you today is a video on how to do that with your iOS device. When I say iOS device, I mean iPod, iPad, and iPhone, and using iOS, the latest iOS, or even a jailbroken iOS. So basically, in the video that I have these two devices right here. The larger one is an iPhone 6 Plus, and it's running 9.0.2 jailbroken. But I wanted to show you that this service is not only for jailbroken devices. You can sideload iOS apps and all of those bunch of great apps that I'm going to show you later on in this video to non-jailbroken devices like my son's iPod Touch here, which I bought a separate account so that I could show you in this video that this does work with non-jailbroken devices. His iPod is on the latest iOS firmware, and I have two separate accounts, so I'm going to show you that you can install things like Popcorn Time and a whole bunch of other these video apps. And it's a great experience. It's a very easy experience. Anything you do on your computer in regards to sign loading and getting apps signed, you can do with them on your device as well. So you really don't need a computer to do this, but you can get all this done. So let me put my son's iPod Touch up on the screen now, and I'll show you how this service works. Now, basically, when you buy the service for tvOS or for iOS, you basically get two emails. The first email is like a welcome email, and then you install the iPwnstore onto your device. You have to set up a username and password. You have to use the right certificate. My son uses the certificate called Thor, and I'm using a certificate called Superman. On my tvOS, it's a totally different certificate. It's called something else. When I talk about certificates, it's just it's nothing that you install on your phone. It's just something that you have to use. It's like a secret code, an identifier, and basically, when you set up accounts, you have to give them an email address as well as give them the UDID of your device. Each device has a unique UDID, so that when you install the service, you install each account to separate devices. So you need separate accounts for separate devices. So if you have an iPad with UDID, you have to set up that. And then if you have an iPhone separate, you've got to set up a UDID. So basically one iPwnstore app on each device. So let's go on. Let's get on with the video now. Basically, the instructions are very clear. You click and you install and you do all that stuff. So now we're not even going to use the computer. I'm going to go right to my son's iPod Touch, open up the emails, and show you how we set this up. Okay, I got my son's iPod Touch 5th generation, non-jailbroken, latest firmware up on the screen here. And you can see that the web page is exactly the same as your computer, except for the computer is a bigger screen, so they show more options, this and that. So now, if you click on a option, now earlier I told you it was $17.99 for Apple TV, but that's the bundled app. So if you wanted to get both, one for tvOS as well as iOS, you pay $17.99. if you wanted just to do the iOS version, you can go ahead and do that. So basically, when you click on the option, you get a section here where you have to install a UDID. So in order to get a UDID on your computer for your iOS iPwnstore, you can open up iTunes, have your iPod Touch connected, and here in summary page, you basically click here, and sooner or later you get to your UDID. On your iOS device, it's a little bit more difficult. You have to install an app like UDID, and this is an app where you install from our legit app store, and it will go onto Safari, and it will ask you to install a certificate. Let's give that a moment. Now, you basically can copy this UDID and throw it into the space here where you can add it to your cart. The app crashed on the iOS device, but let me restart it. This app has nothing to do with iPwnstore. It's just an app that helps you get your UDID for your devices. So basically, we can paste that right into here by clicking, and it will paste it right in here. So now this is going to ask you to install a certificate, but like I said, it's easier to do on the iTunes store on your computer. Oh, there it is. So UDID Center, you can hit install and then install the certificate. Ask you for your password that you sign into your device. So here it is, and you can hit install and install that right onto your phone. This is a certificate that installs into Safari that you can get rid of a little bit later. And here, now it shows you your UDID. You can actually tap here to copy it, and you hit copy, and then you go back into the web page and install the UDID that way. But here on the computer, I'll show you. So, and then you can just install that right onto here by hitting paste, and it'll paste it right in there, and you add to the cart. Then it'll give you payment options, and you pretty much buy the service, and then you're going to get that email. So let's just go strictly to the device. So here's the device, and we're going to hit, we're going to come out of this, and we're going to go to the email. The first email they send you is going to be an email that looks like this. I put it in a folder. So you get the first email. It says that, note that you have a certain certificate that you have to use as an identifier. So my son would be Thor. That's the one that I have to use. So now you basically can click this, and it will open up into the iPwnstore page here, and you basically can pretty much scroll down to Thor right here and hit done, and basically you can install the app. So you install it in here. Now the next thing you have to do is you're gonna have to download this, install this first. So we're gonna install the iPwnstore right in here, and you're gonna see, if I go to my home screen, that we have the iPwnstore. I'm gonna move it down here so you can see it. It installs right onto the iOS device. This is non-jailbroken, so it's amazing that it installs right on here because it's using code signing, and code signing is allowed by Apple for people who want to test out their apps and things like that. So this is essentially, to Apple, a test app that you can get. So now we have a new version here. Now we have it all set up here. Now normally you would see in settings, you would see that you're not signed in. So you would have to go to that second email that you get after you register, and basically you have to click to register here on the first here, and then you could return to the page and it'll allow you to sign in, because you can't download the iPwnstore app without registering. So basically you registered, and now you're all set, and you have the iPwnstore right on your Apple device, in this case the iPod Touch. So now we have a bunch of great apps here, and this is if you know me from my channel, I pretty much show you how to cut the cord with the cable company and get a whole bunch of great apps like for instance, Movie Box. If you have an Android device, you know that, or a jailbroken device, you know that you can install Movie Box. You can install Kodi, Kodi Jarvis, Kodi Krypton, and then they have an app here called the that's the owner of the iPwnstore, and basically you get his Twitter and all that stuff so that you can communicate back and forth. You have Live TV, you have Surge TV, you have Playbox HD, Cinema Box, and I tested all of these and most of them work. There's some music box app that didn't work for me, but Popcorn Time, Cartoon HD, which is not just cartoons, it's got a whole bunch of other things. Music Junkie, Movie HD, X Cleaner. You can do iFile. Now, if you had a jailbroken device, of course, iFile would work better because you have access to root folders. But on non-jailbroken devices, it may not work. So you pretty much iFlux. You have a whole bunch of emulators that you can use. Let's move down. iTransmission. You have Downcloud. It's another great music app. And you have battery life. You have GBA for iOS. You have PPSSPP. That's another emulator. You have a whole bunch of games. You have Providence you can use. File browser. If you're jailbroken, you get to use that a little bit better because you can download stuff. Airfloat. That's like an audio, so that you can go from iTunes to your device without installing any music. There's so many great apps. We're going to install a few, and I'll open them up, and you'll see. You can put Quake 3 on there. Look at all of these apps. There's just so many of them, and every time I open the app, I realize that I find that there's more apps there every time I open it. So you can also search. You can also go onto a browser that's built in and search for IPAs that way and get them signed. You can download. When you download, it will show up in the downloads tab down here. So let's go to featured. Let's go to the top and let's install something like Popcorn Time. Let's install that. So you basically click it and you click add to the library, and it's signing the application. That's what you pay for when you get the membership. It gets co-signed. So now Popcorn Time, which you normally wouldn't find, well, you actually won't find in the App Store, now it's going to be able to download right to your device. So you go into your downloads tab now and you see Popcorn Time there. We're going to hit install, and it lifts all the restrictions. You're allowed to install Popcorn Time now, and you can see it loading on my screen here. And what I did was I put all of my apps into one folder that are all from the Pawn Store, and you could see, boom, Popcorn Time right there. Let's try another one, and we're going to open these up as well so I could show you that they do work. Majority of them work really good. So another one that I love that was great is Movie Box. And Movie Box, I've been using that on my Google TV for a long time now. Of course, I'm going to make another video after this. I have a service, a VPN service that we can use, and you can also use it on your Apple TV. It's called IPVanish, and you're going to see that in the next video. So we're going to add that to our library. It's going to get signed by the developer of iPwnstore, and you're going to see now we can go into our downloads. It downloaded it twice because I hit it twice, but install one of them, boom, right there. Let's click the home screen, and you're going to see it installing just as you would if you installed an app from the App Store. So let's move this one over. I'm going to put it on the first page with oh, it's not there. It's somewhere. All right, where's Popcorn Time? It's there. I know it is. My son's got tons of games. Alright, let's find Popcorn Time. I just installed it, and I know it didn't disappear. It's got to be here. Oh, it's on the last page. Here it is. So we'll just move that to the front. And like I said, I like to make myself a little folder of all the apps that I install for the iPwnstore. So we'll just place that right onto there, and we have our iPwnstore, and we'll click that. We'll make a, oh, you get the idea. All right, we'll do that, and we'll hit done. And now we have those two great apps. Let's go back and install one more. And trust me, if you watch my channel all the time, you know that I don't, bullshit you. These apps actually do work very good. We could install the Kodi, but let's do Cinema Box. That's another great app. Gives you a little description and everything. And every time there's an update to the iPwnstore site for iOS, you can just reinstall it, delete it, reinstall it, and then you get the newest version. So we'll add that to the library, and we'll go to our downloads, and we have Cinema Box here. I'll install that, and then of course you can delete these, download it to make a little more room. I think they get automatically deleted after a certain amount of time. And basically we have Cinema Box being installed right on our device here. I'm not going to bother to throw it into the iPwnstore folder that I made, but let's open it up and let's take a look at it. So basically we'll send notification. Now you have a whole bunch of great movies that you can see here. I don't know if you can download them, but if you click on a particular movie, it'll ask you if you want to download them, and you can hit the download button here, and you can find a different stream. Now these all streams, so if I click on one of them, it might not work, but let's see. Cannot get the stream, but you just keep clicking away and you find one that you can do. Maybe you have to put it on auto. We'll find one, don't worry. Believe me, you have to experiment a little bit. Some of these streams are not valid. They they break all the time, but then there's new ones added all the time that you can get that particular. Oh, here it is. So we have found one of these that allowed you to stream it, and basically you can go to the main screen and you could see the movies that you're syncing. So basically you can do it for offline viewing, but there's tabs, movies, TV shows, drama, cartoons, things like that. So that's Cinema Box. And then if we went to the Popcorn Time one, now Popcorn Time uses streaming of torrents. Where did I put that folder? Where are you? Oh, here it is. Silly me. So here's Popcorn Time, and it will load up on your device. Now remember, this is not jailbroken. Jailbreaking will add some file management better, but pretty much all of these apps work on non-jailbroken devices. If you missed the jailbreak and you're on the latest version and you're waiting for a new jailbreak, in the meantime you can use this app and get a lot of great shows and things like that. So let's click on. Alright, so here we got a bunch of shows that we can watch. So basically if I wanted to watch a show, I basically click on it and you can hit watch, and it takes a little bit, but it loads up and you start playing your Popcorn Time. So in essence, we don't want to waste time waiting for this to load, but see, it is loading, and at a certain point it will start loading, but for copyright reasons as well, I don't want to mess with it. So let's open up Movie Box now. Now already this iPwnstore is worth getting because of the fact that you can install it on a non-jailbroken device, and you got all these great shows that you can watch in 3 apps so far, but I'm telling you, there's so many more apps that you can find on iPwnstore. The other great feature of iPwnstore is that you can get your apps side-loaded. Apps, IPAs that you find on the internet. Basically, you use your iTunes, and you could throw those apps in after they get signed. But they have to be valid apps that you can sign. But like I said, look at all of these great apps. I can go on and on with this video. It's already long enough. But I'm telling you, for the price of, a couple of cups of coffee, the membership is a whole year, and you got a lot of apps that you can install on a non-jailbroken as well as jailbroken any version past iOS 8. And you get a lot of great experiences. I also have the TVOS version of iPwnstore that you should check out. I'll put all the links in the description of all the videos that I made, and as well as for this iPwnstore for TVOS as well as iOS. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you, and have a nice day.